Be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Them the only two ways you can support me. Be sure to hit that live button. Hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. And be sure to leave some in the comment section. We will comment back. Only to the first 50 people. Man, today y'all already know who we talking about. We got Kodak Black, BossMan Dlow, and Rod Wave. Then, you know what I'm saying? Florida Big Three. Florida Big Three. You got, you know what I'm saying? Kodak Black. He the face. He the face of Florida. Kodak remains the undisputed face. He remains undisputed face of Florida rap, period. I'm talking about legal issues, controversies, influence, unmatched. He birthed the flows, lingo, the half state, current use. You know what I'm saying? 25. You already know Kodak Black has the face. No matter what BossMan Dlow had going on, no matter what Rod Wave had going on, Kodak Black, he the face of Florida. You got to give it to him. We know he been doing it for a while. He been doing it for a while. That's what make him the face. I'm talking about he had new music coming out. Key tracks on the album, future singles like Still Get Chanel. You know, future Chance the Rapper. Who You See Tonight, future Don Tolliver. Futures, the project including a star-studded guest. List was appearance like Pharrell Williams, Gunna, Lil Yachty, and others. You know what I'm saying? He the face. He the face of Florida. You know what I'm talking about? The Florida, you know what I'm saying? He the face of Florida. You got to give it to her. He the face of Florida. Okay. The Halloween concert, October 31st, 2025. He had a concert. November 21st, he did a concert. Plies Day 2025, he made viral appearance at Plies Day in Florida, showing support for fellow rappers. You know what I'm saying? For fellow rappers in Plies, upcoming. He got an upcoming M2 Miami, February 20th, 2026, continue his run. You know, he just the face. You can't take it away from Kodak Black. No matter about you see him acting like he on the drugs real bad. He doing this and that. But you can't take it away from Kodak. You can't take it away from him. He's still the face. He's still the face. You know, he was talking about getting sober one time because he had talked about being on drugs in some of his songs, you know, men in particular. But Kodak talking about he's sobered up. You know, we see he'd have been bringing out new cars, the van. He been doing a lot. You know, he been going on for so long, so you can't take him away from the game because he the face. He the face when you talking about Florida. That's if you ain't talking about Trick Daddy and a lot of old rappers like Gunplay. You know, lots of old rappers. If you ain't talking about the old rapper Trina, right now, 2025, that's your top three. BossMan Dlow, Rod Wave, Kodak Black. I'm talking about 2024, he had a lots of legal problems. I'm talking about lots of legal problems 2024. But 2025, he ain't have all the problems. He ain't have all the problems. He just really a loss of focusing because a lot of people are talking about Kodak Black. We seen Kodak Black laying all in the road. People talking about Yak on the drugs. We seen Kodak Black, you know what I'm saying, looking like he on drugs. How you doing? How everybody doing this morning? He looking like he on the drugs, you know. So it was just a lots of speculation, lots of rumors that Kodak gonna lose his career. Kodak doing this. You know what I'm saying? Lots of people thought Kodak was broke, you know. And they tarnished the man about doing a song with 69 in 2024. But it ain't no stopping the Kodak. It ain't no stopping Kodak, man. No matter what they try, it ain't no stopping it. Okay. He the undisputed face of Florida rap. Despite legal issues, controversies, his influence is unmatched. I'm talking about, what can you take away from him? He got the Florida lingo. The Florida lingo. We don't even hear from Jack Boy, even though he had Jack Boy turned up. You know, we seen him and Jack Boy fall out. They've been going back and forth. Even in 2025, him and Jack Boy been going back and forth. But it ain't stopped Kodak. You know what I'm saying? We seen Jack Boy going to mock Kodak. So I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Talking about the voodoo and all types of stuff on Kodak. You know, so calling Kodak a junkie and all types of stuff. We seen a lot going on with Kodak. But what you can't take away is Kodak being the face of Florida. If y'all disagree with this, he the face. You know, Rod Wave doing big things. BossMan Dlow doing big things. But do y'all think Kodak the face? To me, he the face of Florida. To me, he the face of Florida. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Because in reality, the man is a genius. He a genius. We done heard a loss of music from Kodak. I'm talking about a loss of music over the years. Over the years of Kodak Black. Lots of music. But guess what? His music continue. Even you can go listen to his old music. His old music continue sound like up-to-date music. And it's still gonna jam. It still bob your head. And it better than most music that new rappers putting out today. To be all honest, you can go back and get some old Kodak and it gonna sound good compared to a lot of new rappers that's out today. I like Kodak. I've been a big fan of Kodak. You know what I'm saying? He got all the different colors of the swag, you know what I'm saying? And that's what lots of people adapted to. Kodak swag, Kodak lingo. You know what I'm saying? The gremlin, you know, he was the gremlin. How can you take it away from him? I'm talking about in the lyrics, he's storytelling. How can you take it away from him? He's storytelling in the lyrics. I like that about Kodak. A lot of people, they rap, but they just rap. A lot of rappers don't storytell, and that's what you get for Kodak Black. He do a lot of storytelling. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no storytelling. He a poet. You know what I'm saying? The man do it's like a poetry or something. You know what I'm saying? It's just how he is. And guess what? He ain't trying to benefit off nobody else. Everything he do is raw. Everything he do is raw. He ain't biting nobody's style. He ain't doing that. He just Kodak Black. How many people can say that Kodak bit his swag or Kodak did that? We done seen people bite Kodak swag. You know what I'm saying? Even despite when Kodak went to prison, you remember when Kodak was in the Fed before Donald Trump had gave him the pardon or whatnot. A lot of people had got out the feds. They were talking about, oh, Kodak with this in the Fed. Kodak was on PC, all that. But nothing stopped Kodak from continuing doing their music. For continue being the face for Florida throughout the whole 2025. You know what I'm saying? What stopped him? It wasn't nothing stopped him. We see, man, come on, look how they were blemishing his image. They was blemishing Kodak. Oh, Kodak on drugs. Kodak this. Kodak, it was looking bad for Kodak at one time. We can't take that away. No matter how big of a fan we is, we ain't gonna take it away that Kodak was out here sideways, looking like it anyways and acting like it. But I heard rappers come out and saying that Kodak was just friend. That Kodak really wasn't even on drugs. That he was just acting like he was on drugs. Excuse me, I don't know what happened to my mic. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Yeah, that's just one thing about him. He always the face. Good morning, how everybody doing? He been the face. Like I said about BossMan Dlow, he making good music right now. He making great music. And guess what? BossMan Dlow commercial. He commercial. You know, I hear people everywhere bumping Dlow. He doing the thing. He doing the thing. But being the face of Florida, we still gonna go there. Being the face of Florida, you know who it is. Kodak Black. Ain't no discriminating. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can say what y'all want to say about it. You know, y'all can take it. Y'all can go to, oh, Kodak was an addict. Kodak blowing all his money. Kodak gonna be broke for long. We heard a lot. But we see Kodak doing different things. I seen a van Kodak pulled out. Then he threw some rims on, got it clean. You know, Kodak stayed with them colors. He stayed with them colors. I seen an old school car. It's just been a lot for Kodak. I just ain't been seeing him just really just out like a geeking like he really was at one point in time. Because in 2024, he really was just tweaked out too hard. And everybody been trying to figure out what is Kodak on. Everybody been trying to figure it out. We done heard Kodak go into his songs. I'd have been heard songs years ago before 2024 that Kodak was talking about meth in his songs. You know, 2024, he was talking about meth in his songs. You know, it's 2025. Kodak trying to rehab himself. We gonna see he gonna continue that throughout 2026. Now, if he continue that throughout 2026, we might get a new Kodak, the new Kodak back. You know, we never know. We gonna have to sit back and see how it play out, and not be so judgmental until we know for ourselves. Okay, we got Ride Wave. We talk about the big three of Florida. That's what we talk about, the big three, though. We got Ride Wave. He didn't make the face of Florida, but he's still the face of Florida. You know why? Because when you talking superstar, you got to talk Ride Wave. Whenever you talking superstar, you got to talk Ride Wave. You got to talk Ride Wave. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna not talk about him? How you gonna take okay? We just gonna forget that Ride Wave even from Florida? That what you mean to tell me? That's what you gonna tell me. Okay. We're gonna dive in a little deep into Ride Wave and what make him a superstar in 2025. Okay. Then we finna get into it. Man, my mouth's so dry. Okay, Ride Wave, and we know he the face. He the face now. I mean, Kodak Black the face, but Ride Wave the superstar. And we ain't gonna take that away. I'm talking about in pure numbers, we talking pure form. Because we know how he coming. We talking pure numbers. I'm talking about filling the arenas up. Kodak doing anything, but we talking about Ride Wave, he filling the arenas up. To be honest, because we're gonna put BossMan Dlow here, and we're gonna put Kodak Black here, and we're gonna set Ride Wave here. Now, out of all three of them, who you think gonna fill the arena up? Who you think gonna fill the arena up? You think Kodak Black gonna sell more tickets than Ride Wave? You think BossMan Dlow gonna sell out? Man, come on. You gotta know he the superstar. You gotta know Ride Wave gonna fill arena slap up. But when you talking sales and when you talking organic numbers, it's Ride Wave. He the superstar of Florida. You can't take it away no matter what Dlow putting down, no matter what Kodak putting down. How can you take it away? How can you take it away? The man is a lyricist. Come on, who don't like Ride Wave? He like the biggest artist coming out of Florida. The biggest artist. Is I'm right or wrong now. Let me know if I'm right or wrong. Let me know if I'm right or wrong. I'm tired. He different. We got Kodak Black with a different flow, BossMan Dlow with a different flow, and we got Ride Wave transcending. I'm talking about the Florida route. Man, come on. A global superstar. Kodak Black not a global superstar like Ride Wave. BossMan Dlow not a global superstar like Ride Wave. Come on. But it sound though, Ride Wave sound. I'm talking about, come on. Then get where you coming from. Man, all the way from St. Pete. I'm tired. When you talking, okay, billboards, we're gonna talk billboards. If we go look at it, go look at the chart for yourself. Go look at the chart for yourself. When we talking billboards, go check it out. Rod Wave. Top of the billboard, the Rod Waves. I'm talking about not just he constantly on the billboard. Constantly on the billboard with good music. I like Rod Wave music. I'm talking about the pain, the soul, that would lane Rod Wave in. You can hear it through his voice. You can hear it through his tone of his music. It's the pain coming out of his music. I'm talking about how can you not? The gospel influence. Come on. Come on. How can you take it away? You cannot take it away. Emotional anthems. In Rod Wave's song, you can hear the pain. You can hear the emotions. Come on. How can Kodak Black? He make good music. But they make different type of music. They just like BossMan Dlow. On the other hand, he make music for his fans. Kodak make music for his fans. And Rod Waves, he do things for his fans. Come on. Think about it. Think about it. Okay. Look, he just performed at State Farm Arena. He just performed State Farm Arena now on December 28th and the 29th. What it was? A sellout. Y'all must didn't see the arena. Y'all must didn't see how packed the arena was. I'm talking about y'all couldn't see it. Okay, in January, February, this is Rod Wave, this is early 2025 for Rod Wave. He spent the beginning of the year, finished the second leg of his last lap tour. You know, don't you know how much money he made off that tour? I'm talking with stops in cities like Sacramento, packed out. Oakland, packed out. Dallas. That's what I'm saying. Rod Wave be selling out arenas. He's selling them out. Not saying Kodak Black can't sell them out. We know Kodak Black gonna do numbers. We know that. But you can't take away where Rod Wave putting down for Florida. No matter, we talking about the big three. There's only Florida now. Florida big three. Okay, Dallas. Okay, August, he hosted a birthday bash in Tampa, Florida. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Did anybody go in Florida go? Did anybody go to the arena in Florida on a birthday bash in Tampa, Florida? Y'all must didn't see the arena. Y'all couldn't have went if y'all didn't know how packed it was. You couldn't have went. You couldn't have went. You couldn't have went. Guess what? December. We talking this month now. This month. How everybody doing? I'm talking about he got a redemption experience tour. Made in cities like Chicago, Philadelphia, New York throughout the month. Guess what? He know he's smart. He making all his money this year. I'm talking about you seen the past arenas that he just sold out. You seen the past with the upcoming dates he got going on. This man stacking. So we got to see what he gonna bring in 2026. If he gonna make the money all in 2025 and kick back and relax, or Rod Wave gonna come out even harder in 2026. Because right now he working. You know what I'm saying? He working. So that's gonna make him the superstar of Florida. Kodak the face. We ain't gonna forget that. Kodak is the face. You know what I'm saying? He the face. Okay, now we're gonna talk about BossMan Dlow. We know he the biggest Rod Wave, you know what I'm saying? But he worked so hard throughout the whole year. That's what making him come up in the big three when you talk about Florida. Because no matter where you go in the South, for sure the South, Mississippi, Tennessee, you know what I'm saying, Kentucky. It's just a lot of places around here, Florida, Texas, you know, a lot of places around here, they bumping that BossMan Dlow. He got the young crowd. He got them. We can't take that away from him. He got the young crowd. I'm talking about the new entry, and you know what I'm talking about? A year ago, this spot might have been debated between Nardo Wick or Denzel Curry. But BossMan Dlow, you know, has deniable claimed it. You know, you got to think about it. The man put in a lot of work through 2025. Follow his massive breakout in 2024. Get in with me and Mr. Beat the Road. Solidify this spot with a recent project like Dlow Curry. Man, what? You talking about Dlow Curry? How can you take it away from him? How can you? You can't. That's what put him in the top 3. That's what put him in the top 3. Okay, we're gonna go dive a little bit deeper into him in 2025 and see what helped put him up in the big 3. To be even on a cover with Kodak Black and Rod Wave, because we ain't heard no BossMan. I don't know about y'all, but I ain't heard BossMan Dlow 5-6 years ago. Have y'all? Some of y'all may have, you know. I don't remember hearing him about 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah. Maybe not. Some people may have. For sure, Florida peoples. Okay. Dlow is closing out another massive year following the release of his debut studio album, Dlow Curry. And it's the Lux edition. Here's the latest and on his current movement, recent drops, and what's coming in 2026, okay? Live in Miami. He performed at Live Nightclub, Miami Beach on Sunday, December 2028. Did y'all go there? Was y'all there? See, he doing shows. Okay, he is currently pushing his latest single, Tenderism, will drop early this month, December the 10th, 2020. December 10th. So he dropping. He doing his thing. He working hard and everything, but he ain't outworked. He haven't outworked Kodak Black. He haven't outworked Rod Wave, but he worked his way to be on the cover with him though. Okay, he had the Dlow Curry era. When Standing album dropped late last year, December 24, 2025, was defined by the deluxe edition released in May 2025. This added 8 new tracks, including a major feature from Gucci Mane on the track Hit. You know, and that's what shot him up through there. That's what shot. I'm telling you, that Dlow Curry. I know people in Memphis were bumping, people in Mississippi were bumping. I told you throughout the South, they bumping him for sure. Throughout the South, they bumping him. He spent spring, March, and April 2025 headlining Dlow Curry tour. He did him a tour. He made the spots like Fillmore, Philly, Atlanta, Steelhouse, Omaha. He hit them states, but guess what? Did you see what Rod Wave was doing? Did you see what Rod Wave was doing? Did you see the states he was hitting? Do you see the states he was hitting? Come on now. Then, you know, he moving. But Rod Wave finishing his tour in 2026, he gonna end that thing. And he don't know he's gonna take a break and keep working. But on the other hand, with BossMan Dlow, he's still putting in work. Because February 27, 2026, he's supposed to be in Madison, Wisconsin. February 28, 2026, he's going to be in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. As you see, Dlow hit spots where he's still trying to gravitate. Well, Rod Wave already hit those spots. Kodak Black already hit those spots. They done did that. That's what make them the people they is today. That what make them who they is. They already known all over. Even BossMan Dlow growing. Like I said, Dlow bumping throughout the South. A lot of people not saying that he ain't bumping in certain states up north. He might be. You know, a lot of South music ain't East Coast and West Coast. Only a little bit of it. But when you're talking Florida Big Three, you have it. Kodak Black, he the face. Rod Wave, he the superstar. And then you got BossMan Dlow, who just taking over right now. Who just taking over. I know some of y'all gonna disagree, and a lot of y'all ain't gonna agree with it. You know, a lot of y'all ain't gonna agree with it. Y'all might know other artists who should be in the Big Three. You know, y'all might have other artists, maybe y'all Big Three, but to me, that Florida Big Three of 2025, who just been delicate and just really putting in work, coming back to back, staying in headlines, that's who you got. The top three. You know, like I said, Kodak Black like the lost gravity, but he caught back on. Because like the drugs, it was like just finna take him down through there. How everybody doing? It was just gonna take him down through there. But luckily, like I said, he caught back. I guess he went to rehab. I don't know what the situation was, but he caught back on. He caught back on. Okay, we're gonna see something. I gotta go check something out while I'm here. Because I think it was something else going on with Rod Wave, but we finna go check it out right quick. Okay, because it seemed like I remember something else going on with Rod Wave in 2025. I just can't pinpoint it and I can't put my hands on it, but I'm gonna dive into it and see okay. Okay, now we were talking Rod Wave, right? That's what we were talking about. And we were talking about what grew him to be in the top three in 2025. But you got to think about it. When your name go in the title and go in the headlines, they're going to make the search results result on you, right? So look, check this out. May of 2025, Rod Wave was arrested 3 times in Fulton County, Georgia throughout the year. 3 times. We ain't gonna forget about that now. 3 times. So the incident on May the 20th, 2025, Rod Wave was arrested at his home in Milton, Georgia. Police initially responded to a call regarding a domestic disturbance or burglary. So we ain't gonna forget about that in 2025. Excuse me. They kept Rod Wave kind of relevant. So when he was doing these shows, they wanted to see him. They wanted to see him. He in headline news for that. He faced 13 charges, including aggravated assault, possession of firearm, doing the commission of a felony, pointing a gun at another person, criminal damage to property, and tampering with evidence. We ain't gonna forget that now. We can't forget that. His legal team stated he was the victim of home invasion, burglary, and acting in self-defense. He was released on a $55,000 bond shortly after booking. Now, that just May of 2025 for Rod Wave. We talked about Kodak. We broke down Kodak. He stayed out of trouble 2025. He was trying to stay on the swivel, even though he had a look right in, but he was doing better. Now, on the other hand, now look, June 2025, Rod Wave had a battery charge. Less than a month after his May arrest, he was taken into custody again in Fulton County. He was charged with battery. Details of a specific incident were more limited compared to the others, but it marked his second booking in a short time. Some of the same similar charges. Okay, can't forget he had 3 arrests. He was arrested 3 times. November 2025. Guess what? Some similar to the same charges. Drugs and weapon charges. Okay. On November the 7th, 2025, the same day he received his first Grammy nomination, he was pulled over by Atlanta police for speed and reckless driving. And guess what? Police reported found a firearm and drugs in the vehicle. He was charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felony, possession of Schedule 2 and Schedule 5 controlled substance, and reckless driving. He was released on an $8,000 bond. The following day, his attorney claimed he was unjustly profiled by a specific crime suppression unit. Okay. That's all he had legally wise going on in 2025. So when Rod Wave had all these arena sellouts, he stayed in the headline. He stayed in the headline. And it wasn't always the good headline. Okay. See something about a civil lawsuit October 2025, additional criminal charges. Rod Wave is involved in a major financial dispute regarding his concert tours. Grizzly Tour lawsuit, $27 million. In early October, concert promoter Grizzly Tour sued Rod Wave for $27 million. The company claims they paid him large advances for his last lap tour, but he canceled 13 dates and refused to return the unearned money. They also allege he violated his contract by starting his own touring company. Whoa, did y'all know that? I didn't know that. I didn't know all that been going on. You know, Rod Wave responded. Rod Wave argued that the promoter production failure and poor planning made it impossible to complete the tour. He claimed the cancellations were their fault and he is seeking to avoid the contract so he can tour independently. Man, so basically they trying to say Rod Wave ran off. I'm trying to cancel these shows and ran off with the money. Do y'all think that's fair? Do y'all really think that's fair? Do y'all think Rod Wave owed the money? Or do the promoters owe Rod Wave money? Because Rod Wave said that they canceled the shows. It was 13 shows that had supposed to have been canceled. 13 shows. But Rod Wave saying that the promoters canceled the show. But the promoter saying Rod Wave canceled the show. We don't know who at fault, so somebody's going to go to court about this. Because the money going to have to be the go where it's supposed to be going to, right? He got lots of active cases. So we don't know what's going to be really in store for Rod Wave in 2026. We really can't just say and pinpoint that we're really going to be the case in 2026 for Rod Wave. Because he still got active. The charge is still active. You know what I'm saying? Criminal charge is still active for sure. But the case remained active. He also actively fighting a civil lawsuit while preparing for his own redemption experience tour, which going to begin in late 2025. Like I said, there you have it though. That's Florida Big Three. That's Florida Big Three. Some of y'all gonna take it and run with it. Some of y'all gonna disagree. You know, what y'all think? What y'all take on it? You know what I'm saying? What y'all take on it? Let me check something out. Do y'all think? What y'all think? Y'all think that them the Big Three for Florida? Or do y'all think it's somebody else? We ain't talking about old rappers. We ain't talking about old rappers. We talking about Florida Big Three in 2025. And we don't know who's going to hold the belt in 2026. We see BossMan Dlow, he studied touring. Rod Wave, he studied touring. Kodak Black got tours coming up too. But we don't know who's going to hold the title in 2026. Somebody might fall out. Somebody might keep going. Like I said, Rod Wave, he's still fighting legal claims, legal cases. We're going to just stick around and see. He might beat the charges and continue to be able to work. All right, if he get incarcerated, hopefully that he don't, then we'll be here waiting on him and see what he's going to be dropping, and we'll keep y'all updated. Be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm out. Until next time, peoples. There you have it.